If you struggle like I do to get that filmic look from your log footage, check out what I just did. This is a review for Dehancer Film Emulation, a plugin available for Final Cut Pro, Davinci Resolve, and Adobe Premiere. So what is Dehancer? Well, in a nutshell, it's not a lot. Dehancer is a complete and comprehensive tool for emulating film in digital video. It cannot be compared to a LUT, and let me show you why. So here in Final Cut Pro, I have a clip that I loaded from a wedding. This was shot on the Canon R6 and shot in C-Log. It's 60 frames per second. It's been slowed down 50%. Now, to use this program, once you've already loaded the plugin in Final Cut, you simply come down to your video and audio features and your audio effects, and you click on Dehancer. Double click. Then you'll want to come up to this panel, and here's where you can select your camera. So we'll just come down, we'll choose Canon. This is the R6, and it was shot in C-Log BT 2020. And there we go. Now, by default, the film grain is turned on, so I like to turn this off. So I'm going to turn that off there. Then you can come up here and you can choose which film emulation you would like to use. One of the drawbacks of this program is you cannot see the changes as you scroll through these options. You would actually have to click on each one to see a change. So forth. And so it can be a little tricky, but we're going to try this Kodak Vision 350D. This film emulation is best suited for this particular clip because it's shot outdoors at a low ISO. Not a sunny day, but it fits. So some of the options that you have here is that you can push or pull this particular shot. So if I pull it, you can see what it does to the colors. It kind of mutes the colors a little bit. And if I increase and pull the exposure, you can see how it kind of mutes the colors a little bit. See, it'll kind of mute the colors if I push, and if I pull, it kind of makes it a little bit brighter. So you can just adjust this to taste. And for the sake of this one, we're going to leave it right where it is. You do have an exposure compensation, and you can darken it, you can lighten it, and just watch your scopes and kind of set it where you would like. And all of this is just subjective, so you can just, what I would do is just sit here and play around with these settings until you find something that you really, really like. And just kind of play around with it and see what it looks like to you. Because there's really no right or wrong way to do this. It's only what looks good to you. We're expanding some of that contrast there, and here we go. Let's look at this shot. And if we look at the before and after, it's just incredible, the change that we see. It's extremely easy to use, it's intuitive, and what I like about it is you can just sit here and play with it until you get the colors and the look that you want. There's really no right way, there's no wrong way to color grade. It's what looks good to you. You are the creator, you are the artist, so it's up to you, completely up to you. I love the way this works. So here is another video clip shot at a bridal. This was shot on Canon R6 with C-Log 3, and this was shot at 30 frames per second. I have it slowed down to 24 frames per second. And this is C-Log. Actually, this is C-Log 3. and you can see how the log footage looks like. It's lifeless and limp. Let's breathe some life into this, and we will come down to the film emulation. We can just double click right here. Come right over here to Dehancer, and we will select our camera, which is the Canon R6. And this was shot in C-Log 3 Cinema Gamut, so we will choose that right there. Again, this defaults to film grain, and I just want to click it off because film grain has added contrast, and it just kind of muddies up the picture a little bit. But this one here, I am going to go up here and select Cinestill 800T. Now, again, same thing with 800T. You can push or we can pull. So for now, we're just going to leave this here in the center. You do have a exposure compensation that you can use, and you can kind of just look at that and see what that looks like. And right there, just changing the exposure compensation, just bringing it up just a little bit, and wow, this image looks really, really good. Now I'm going to see if I can improve upon this, and we can just play with it. We can play with linear, and we can just play with the exposure and bring it up and bring it back down. Just depends on what kind of mood you want to create with this image. I like it a little bit airy myself, so maybe I'll just bring it up like this. Very, very nice. You can also maybe add a little bit more color to it by bringing the black point down. We could add more contrast to the shot if we want, and here we go. Looking beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And what would happen if we were to come up here to push-pull? We'll see how that affects the shot right there. And we'll just leave it at that. Now what's really neat is right back here you can see that you've got some highlights, and what we can do is come back here and we can kind of bloom some of that light a little bit, or we can add some halation to the overall image. Let's see what this halation looks like. And there we go. Nice. And again, let's do a before and after. This next clip is Canon C-Log 3 to Dehancer Pro version 2. And just look at that. It's just wow. Wow. And I could just sit here and play these clips on loop, because to me they're so amazing how easy and fast you can go from dull, lifeless log footage to something truly amazing in just a few clicks. It's just incredible to me. I'm going to show you a series of before and after clips graded with Dehancer. You be the judge. Is it worth it to you to have a plugin that makes color grading this easy? A plugin that is simple, easy to use, and intuitive. You be the judge. So some closing thoughts. I think Dehancer is an amazing plugin, especially for a colorist like me who is a total amateur when it comes to color grading my log footage. The fact that it's so easy to get a filmic look from this plugin, that it's just so simple, so intuitive to use, and so fast. As a video creator, it just makes me want to go out and be more creative, shoot more video, because I know I can get these kinds of results in a very easy, simple way. I'm sure it will do the same for you. If you're interested in purchasing Dehancer, look in the show notes for a link and use promo code MOSCOW2024 for 10% off this amazing plugin. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.